Spawning. Down here in the bottom right side. Give it up for our blue Terran player. He is Team NV's Bunny. And his opponent up here in the top left. Give it up for Africa Freaks Trap. Yes, the North American qualifier is before the EU qualifier. It goes down on the 2nd of November. So make sure you do keep an eye out for that. Already we do see Bunny kind of tricking his opponent just a little bit. This isn't a really committed proxy-based location with that Rax. He is going to get just maybe 1 or 2 Reapers and then try and chill out a little bit. Just do a little bit of damage with it and expand up to his factory. He's also going to get his upgrades started relatively quickly, I'd imagine. So yeah, it's a good little way to kind of force Trap off guard, but I don't think Trap is really going to overreact here. He does have his wall complete and is going to get a Zealot though, so that's already really nice, as that's an extra 100 minerals that Trap will not have later on. Around the NG Bay, the SCV gets chased down. The Zealot wants to give it a crown. Zap goes to SCV. Alright, so just denying the natural CC for just a little bit of time here. Trap looks like he doesn't really care too much. He's committing to a bit of a push. In fact, the Stalker going to do a little bit of damage to that Reaper. And now, this is where Bunny starts to panic, because his barracks is still on the long flight home, so he's going to have to defend. With just a Widow Mine and a couple of Reapers, it's a nuisance. He should be able to clean this up, or at least force it back. But it's still, your attention taken away, as he builds up his own natural CC roughly in time with the Nexus. Fan, here go Bunny. Yeah, he's trying to hop on up to the main event here. It's like Trap is sitting out a little bit of a cheeky scout just to make sure nothing too crazy is going on. Reaper's going to be able to make their way in, but there is an Adept and there is a Stalker in the position, so the Reaper will go down. Yeah, Trap, he really doesn't want this game to go on too much further. He's getting the Robo facility so that he can get a Warp Prism, as well as that Proxy Pylon. And he's just going to keep pushing. He knows that Bunny really doesn't have a lot. It's only 11 army supply to 13, but it's mostly in these Widow Mines where that army supply is gone. That's making its way in, but the Widow Mine's preventing him from getting too much farther. Bunny really wants to Widow Mine drop, but he keeps getting deflected at every single turn. Now back at Trap Space, he's not really building a lot, to be completely honest. He's got the Warp Prism down, but is he going for Disruptor drops? See, I find that interesting because of how late they're coming in. He's finally got it in position, but the Stalkers are already there. Luckily for him, he does have quite a bit of room in the back, but Trap not paying attention. Oh, a late pull, but he just barely gets out of there. The third Widowmine gets a fourth. But okay, not the worst defense here, but now he's got to defend in the main base without stim. Yeah, no disruptor drops, just going straight into Colossi production, which is good because Bunny is focusing very heavily on... music's too loud. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to set it for right about there, and I'm going to let them know later. But anyway, Colossus production, Bunny is focusing a little bit more on his Marines because he does need that DPS before he can really in earnest start Marauder production. But overall, the upgrades are starting to kick in. So, looks like he's getting ready for a move out, which is just the time when Trap decides he doesn't want him to. Drop coming in. Not gonna find anything, just the sacrificial probes. But Bunny is got the push coming. Colossi. He does have a little bit of storm or force field energy as well, but not really gonna find anything with that first one. Okay, a little bit better of a strike here, but the Zealots getting right on top of the siege tanks. Losing quite a few of them, but the Stalkers should be enough. Shield Battery Overcharge was popped, but it just wasn't really too useful for him. Looks like the medevac did get out of here, so it's going to rotate with the forces. Those Colossi are actually raining hellfire on those Marines, but Bunny just going to say to heck with it, dives right on top, crashes through one of those Colossi himself. And as long as he can kind of trade out for these big, expensive units, he should be okay. Oh my goodness. If Bunny had seen that, that would have been hilarious. A bit of a Zealot run by. They still don't have charge. That's going to finish up in a couple of seconds here, about 10-15 seconds. A couple of SCVs and just kind of deny a little bit of mining here from Bunny, who is ahead in terms of that army supply. In terms of the unit composition, he did start Vikings. The biggest thing for him is that Trap isn't really building any more Colossi. Archon, that's a fake, just trying to make him overextend. He already does have the Ghost Academy down, so EMPs are a very big possibility here soon. But what he really wants to get rid of is that Warp Prism flying around. Okay, he did. You know, sometimes they actually listen to the caster for once. But anyway, we do see Trap trying to power up. He's getting those disruptors just because he does need kind of an ace in the hole at this point. He can't just fight this straight up anymore. That coupled with the fact that he's going to have Archons, but, you know, Archons, they're pure energy, as in they have only shields. And only about 10 health, so those EMPs are really going to blanket it really hard. Is American Red Cross sponsoring this? Yes, they are. The main sponsor is G Fuel, but we also have the other sponsors coming on in. With American Red Cross, Some Drunk Canadian. Did a little bit of sponsoring, but hold that thought as we do have the Colossi a little bit exposed there in the front, but Bunny is really stacked up, so they are going to get massive amount of surface area on those attacks. A big Zealot run by as well, going to come in and just absolutely decimate this base. 5 workers already going down with more to follow. And although Bunny does clean that up, he still has to be careful. As I say that, I think that Widow Mine just killed something big. The trap a little bit out of position. If Bunny wanted to, he could go into the natural a little bit unopposed and just drop down to Liberators, make it so that trap is locked out of his own base. Disruptors gonna look for a target, but I'm not gonna find anything just yet. He still has one more. But Bunny has found the 4th. One of the Colossus will go down. The Vikings shelling away at the other one. That will fall. A pickup on the wrong Colossi. A pretty good concave for our Terran player, but unfortunately takes a big disruptor shot right there, and it is reset this engagement. Prism has been super annoying as usual. Don't worry, the Prism's gone. Disruptor balls, I swear. Does manage to lose a couple of them as the Zealots do get deflected a little bit easier this time. Liberators are added on, but Bunny wasn't paying attention to that position until just then. Gets the Marauder, but can't really fight in these choke points. Has to be careful where he engages into because he doesn't really have a lot of support. Storm is not complete either, so he's going to have to just rely on these disruptors to keep Bunny back. And he keeps finding these little angles where the army is not, but just a quick Liberator and a Marine is enough to shut that down. Blinking right underneath the Liberators up here, though. He will be able to close that out, but here comes the double prong attack. And you guys are going ham in the chat. No chill. It's a good thing. I like it sometimes. But here we go, Disruptors. Once again, getting a huge connection here. Resetting a lot of Bunny's units to the Stone Age. But he's still going to try and fight in here. EMP blanketing the Archon, so that will go down. Some more coming in, though. The Vikings have landed to assist. Good split back. He's not going to lose as much as he would have. But he's still having trouble breaking this Protoss location. All right, so yeah, that makes sense. Disruptors trying to do what they can, but fighting right underneath the Liberators, not the best place to stand. It's like being out in the rain during the middle of a hurricane, which is insane. No one to blame but yourself, but Bunny continuously just trading out here. He can effectively do that as he Parade pushes his way. Looking for that victory, but a couple of quick warp-ins from Trap is going to be able to deflect. I feel like Bunny I feel like Trap is overextending just a little bit, though, because he is still trading out these Archons. He does have Storm available to him now. So another big tell. Take a look at the battle report here. Get rid of another Warp Prism. Just the random Widow Mines everywhere. So I do like, oh, I don't like that, but I do like how Bunny is just not only trying to be aggressive, he's also taking a lot of bases around the map and establishing that position so that he can really afford all these big fancy techs. The Liberators, though, I don't think have been really super effective for him. I know a lot of Terran players have started to transition back into Libs, but I think they're more just a harassment unit because there's not much in this composition that really works for it without a fusion core and without Liberator range is what I'm trying to say. Because with range, the Libs do have the ability to shoo away the Disruptors, but their range is just too short without it to be really useful versus Disruptors. Speaking of Liberators, though, they do manage to shut down the 5th. A huge Disruptor ball. Bunny, my man. For the first time in a long time, Trap actually does take the army supply advantage. He loses it a second later. In fact, he's got to be a little bit careful as he seems to be overextending up here to this 5th base location. Fighting underneath the Liberators here. This is a really scrappy engagement, but Trap looks to be taking it as Bunny is not fighting with his entire army together. In fact, that's he's up 89 to 66 army supply, but where is most of it? It's a little bit MIA. In fact, he doesn't really have a lot of anti either, so these Liberators starting to charge in and do a lot more helping. Disruptors fighting right underneath, but they will get taken down, not really finding the engagements that they had. My goodness, what is this game? Trap not able to really engage into there, but his supply has plummeted 125 to 176. I'm talking about the Red Cross event that's going to be going on afterwards. You know what? We just need to turn on Imba League Heroes or something similar and play like just random craziness with it. Taking the high ground, linking right into the Widow Mine, so he's going to lose quite a few of his Stalkers for the issue. Takes a big Disruptor volley, though. In the end, he is still up over double the army supply. Focus fires down the shooting Nova. And that is just going to be it. No Storms were harmed in the making of this game. Mainly because no Storms were used. I feel like he knew he had it, but yeah, no. Just kind of forgot about it. We've seen that a few times. What is super important right now is Trap needs to realize he took those engagements last game very inefficiently. Every single time he was losing Colossus, he was losing Disruptors, he was losing everything except what he can afford to lose. And so that's what he's really got to clean up a little bit here. Maybe like, he did good with the pressure. I liked the amount of pressure he put on, but he kind of stopped in the mid to late game there. Like, he just, you know, just a couple of zealots. That's all it really takes, because it forces the reinforcements to stay home. It takes the opponent's attention away from the main fight. And when you have disruptors in play, that's something you can't really afford to do as a Zerg player. Or as a, like, they're both aliens. Protoss. Looks like not a lot of scouting information gonna happen here. I think Trap does want to be aggressive, though, as we do see that Twilight Council. So the big question is this going to be for Blink? Is he gonna go for something crazy with is he gonna go crazy with Adept Glaives? Or are we going to see some Invisiboys? Do y'all know any game with great swordplay that's also single player? Kingdom Come Deliverance, Mountain Blade Bannerlord, Mordhouse is not that. There's a bunch of games out there. I'm sure chat can help you out, give you some recommendations. Those are just my two. Looks like it is going to be a Blink here, as Trap does decide to drop down the Robo facility. That tells me that this is not a defensive Blink. He is going to go crazy here. Now, Bunny, he needs to see this. He has to start up some sort of splash damage, and that's exactly what he's going to do here. The third is pretty much a fake from Trap, I feel. As I don't... Okay, he does throw it down. Alright, so it looks like Trap is just going to stay defensive with this. Interesting. You'd think with the early Robo facility, he would want to push in versus Bunny, but he's giving a lot of respect here, and Bunny is going to return that respect by trying to dive in with the cheekiest way to get early game damage. Trap is in position to contend with this, but is he paying attention is the big question. You guys are catching up when I said Glaive Adept. Sometimes it happens. It's crazy. It's insane. But sometimes it's just what the doctor ordered if a Terran player is being a little bit of a nuisance to you. Behind this as well, Trap's just going straight up to that Templar archive. So he will have Storms available to him. He will have Archons very early on. And Bunny, we see on his production, he's not going to have ghosts for a while. Any stream showing Solar Ragnarok? That's going to be right here, right after this game. So we are watching both of the qualifying matches in the upper bracket, and then we'll head down to the losers bracket. I'm doing a really good job of kind of just denying any sort of move out here from Bunny. Medevac does decide to go, or the Hellion decides to go down. I thought that was the Medevac for a second, but Trap is paying attention, and he will be able to get the snipe. Thank you, Kozan, for the subscription, man. I hope you get to cast a little bit more. I think you're gonna be doing EU, right? You guys don't know, Kozan is our Dutch caster. Since we can't afford Rotterdam, we've got the next best thing. Alright, Bunny, getting ready for the move out here. He's got one siege tank in that medevac. But if he can set up in a good location right now, this isn't the best one for that, as there is a lot of open space, so the siege tank not really going to be super worthwhile, but the Widow Mine's getting rid of a lot of that Zealot health. And the Archon's in the front, not really enough to stand up to this. Shield Battery Overcharge is popped, but that it didn't save that Archon from a focus fire. The Widow Mine's as well preventing any sort of flank play from these Zealots, but in the end, Trap should have enough to force this back. So from here, Bunny, I feel he's gonna not necessarily play defensive, but he might want to focus more on harassment, as we do see the War Prism gonna be coming in as Trap takes his own advice. Go straight into the main base, and there's nothing in here for Bunny to defend. All his units are at the third, but what this really is just a distraction, as the rest of Trap's army is getting ready to assault the natural. War Prism does have to get out of here, but oh no, the Marine's getting really close to it. Do they stim one more time? He really wants it, and he decides it is his. But now that means his entire army is way out of position here. Storm is available to Trap. So he's just waiting for the army to pool on up. Not the best of storms right there. It does whiff. Looks like Bunny was fighting in multiple locations at once at the same location. 23, 25 SCVs going down. And I think Trap may have overextended there just a little bit. He did get 25 workers, though, which means Bunny is going to be struggling for that income. As a potential spam call tries to call me on the side. No, I'll let it voicemail. But we do have a Bunny deciding that now is the time to keep the attack on. Kozan is better than Rotterdam. You know what? Everybody has their preference. My preference is Kozan too. But anyway, Trap, he's trying to transition into Immortals. He doesn't have access to Colossi, Disruptors, or anything like that. It's just pure Gateway Storm. The Vikings getting on top of the Prism, but the Shield Battery Overcharge is going to keep that alive. The drag on the Widow Mines is going to do more harm than help. As Bunny is in a full retreat, and I don't think Trap wants to give him any time to recover from that. He's going to be looking for the killing blow. Take a look at Bunny here for a second. If you guys have noticed something crazy, versus this, there is one unit that would be perfect, and he does not have it. He has no ghosts, so there are no EMPs available, and Bunny just decides to heck with it. Already, gotta keep an eye out here. This is the last time that these two will face each other in these qualifiers. What do you mean? They are consistent. Bunny 2-0 Trap on the 26th. Bunny 0-2 Trap. Yeah, I mean, these guys are pretty evenly matched, I gotta say. Bunny's been on a pretty good run. Don't forget to stand 5 minutes every 1 hour. I'm actually standing up right now. Yeah, whenever the game starts, I actually stand up, and I've been casting from standing up because I hate sitting down for long periods of time. Especially since these guys always keep me on my toes, so it's just easier if I'm already on the feet. Send that first adept across the map. Gonna get taken on down. Oh, Kozan, you know who this is. Sorry guys, I just needed to type something out real quick. Alright, but it is going to be Phoenix play here from Trap. Apologize for the bit of quiet there. I hope you guys can enjoy the game while that's happening. But yeah, coming into Phoenix play on 2000 atmospheres is a really good style, I feel, because there's so many different angles that you can kind of engage into with the air army. And it's also good for kind of just shutting down the drop play that Bunny has been trying to use. Also, hey Sunlily, welcome, welcome. We missed you. Thank you for all the cool assets that you've given for this. Trap does get in here, sees the fact that it is a 3 racks coming on in. The 3rd rack's just a little bit late for Bunny, so probably, probably having a little bit of trouble with the income there. Gonna get the factory very quick behind it, though. Don't forget to sit 5 minutes. You know what, Vujaid? I will take your advice. Ow. Now Trap. Let's see, he's kind of just rotating around. I like how he's not over-committing to the Phoenix play. This is something really standard that we'll see. After you get 4 or 5 Phoenix, then you just go straight into Twilight Council Forge. You get your upgrades set, and then really it's just a no-brainer. You can get a lot of damage done. You can really force your opponent into an uncomfortable situation. Like Bunny, already we can see he's stuck in his own 2 bases. Trying to take this 3rd base is a little bit of an issue for him because he has to divvy up his Marines, and if he doesn't do it perfectly... Actually, wait a second. Alright, I was talking to a friend showing him you can do this command. Okay. Yeah, you get a pass. So he only went for 1 Phoenix, which is kind of interesting to me. But he's going to go with a lot of the same that he did in the last game then, because he does have those additional gateways. Now is starting Phoenix production. Okay, man. You do you, but this seems a little put together. Bunny really looking for an angle where you can kind of rotate in and get some damage. I think now would be a good opportunity to kind of double prong because of how much Trap has been spending on these different upgrades and such. There's only a couple of Archons here with some sentries, so it's not really the Fort Knox you would expect for that third base. Clear up some of these rocks as well. Revelation gonna reveal part of this army, but it doesn't tell you the whole story. That's why you don't judge a book by its revelation. Oh, Phoenix doing a really good job of deflecting the medevacs. He's gonna have to de-lift. The charge is complete, so these zealots are crashing on through. Trap looking for some roast bunny, but unfortunately, this is the bunny from Monty Python. You're gonna need a holy hand grenade to take care of this little hare. Being very patient right now. He really doesn't want to overextend himself because that's the quickest way to lose, especially with the force field still in effect. Phoenix gonna get a little bit too far forward though. They they were a little bit crazy. When will he use the nuke? Probably not for a bit. I don't even see a ghost out on the field. As I say that, he starts 3 ghosts. So we will see ghosts pretty soon. Bunny just going to go for a big Doom Drop. He has the rest of his army already set. Catches the Oracle out in the middle, so no more Revelations are available. The Phoenix getting very low on life. And the Zealots not really able to find enough surface area to make the fight worth it for them. Gonna just keep some of the units in there, but unfortunately loses 2 full medevacs. At the same time, though, he is trying to push the 4th base with everything else that he has. These Marines are still alive, and they are still being a nuisance. Bunny up over 50 supply. He's looking to close this game right the heck now, not even waiting for the ghosts to come in. A couple of storms. Gonna blanket the Widow Mines, make sure that they don't do too much. That storm actually does a little bit more damage to himself, but he is out of energy. He only has the Archons left, and they are going to be very weak by the time they actually warp in. Bunny is still in this fight. He is parade pushing across the map. He feels like he has victory, and he might just do, because Trap is a trust fund baby who found out what drugs were. He is broke, but he does hold on for right now. Big Widowmine connections, though. He is not going to be able to replace these units very easily. I feel like Bunny's got to be very careful right now because he is extremely... He's overextending himself just a little bit. Widowmine's actually getting dragged in, so... okay. Trap holds on for now, but it's really a pirate victory for him because we already have the next wave of Terran ready to slam onto his door. Rotating around. He's looking for an angle. The Zealots trying to force this back, but they've got to be careful. Every Widowmine shot is contagiously bad. Good pull back there. Gonna make sure that he doesn't take too much damage from the storms. Getting EMP'd, and this is, I think, the last Azal here. He's going to need some miracle disruptor shots to come on in to save him, but so far, the answer is no, he's not getting them. Fires down one of them, retreats from the next. Now he can fight without really a care in the world. It is just pure gateway. Disruptor coming in from behind, though. That was a miracle shot. Unfortunately, though, he has lost the rest of his disruptors. He just took a huge one-of-mine connection right there. Yeah, Buddy just saying, okay, man, I'm qualifying. I don't care what you think. Okay, connection right there, but the Widow Mines still doing their work. Good blinkbacks from Trap. He's trying to make every last second count. He really doesn't want to go down to that loser's bracket. And there you have it.